people tomorrow morning. 10 a.m. Okay, people coming to town.
Artfight. Who else so excited? I was a little scared. I saw it trending on TikTok and I was like, no, my my fun little niche, but not really niche because there's like 100,000 people when I like first joined already. But like, I don't know, it still felt like my like little niche little thing on the internet, like with just me and my friends and like some cool guys, like, and then it's all over TikTok and I'm like, no, no. But like, I don't know. For a second, I was like, it's so Jover. And then, like, halfway through, I was like, we are so back. Because truthfully, it wasn't that bad. And I don't want to disinvalidate. I don't want to invalidate anyone who did genuinely have a bad experience on Artfight because that fucking sucks. I love Artfight, and that's why I'm making this. 'Cause I need to tell people. I need everyone to be on Artfight, except not really, because holy shit, this website cannot take anything. It keeps fucking dying. But that is okay. That is okay. For those not in the know, but those in the curious about it and maybe want to participate but are too scared to, you should, because it is so fun. And it is really not as scary as it sounds or may seem like, especially if you were on TikTok seeing everyone be like, "Oh my fucking God, my arms, they're frozen over. You need to cut them off." It's fine. I'm gonna go over like all the little terminology and shit and like what it is, what's it about. A mini guide of sorts. I'm not good at explaining, and I'm also not like super smart. But it's okay. But my credentials first. I have been on this website for like 4 years now, going on to five. Yeah, I joined in 2020, like in June, but I didn't participate and I low-key regretted it so bad. I did the next year in 2021, and it was super fun and awesome. It was super cool, and it like went by so seamlessly, and I've been participating like every year ever since, and it's like been more or less the same every year, and that's like a good thing because every year it's been super fun and awesome, and I get to like meet new people and draw new art and like talk to awesome artists, and it's like so community. But okay, on to the actual like explaining everything. The Artfight website describes itself as an annual art trading game that starts July 1st and then ends when July ends. It just goes on for the entire month. Sometimes it goes for longer because the website just fucking dies like all the time. I think it's the worst in the beginning. I don't know, it's still pretty usable. It might suck if you're like constantly checking it, but if you're just like popping in every once in a while, it is genuinely fine. Some terminology, there are things called attacks, and those are just like drawings made for people on the website. Also, I'm gonna say drawings because I draw, but like it is an art website. So like you can post like cosplays and crafts. I see people make jewelry. The crux of it though is like characters. You upload your own like characters onto the website and people draw them or cosplay them or make jewelry for them or like make plushies of them. I've seen. Those are not as common though, like for sure. Like if you do something outside of like digital art, you're gonna get like pretty popular. If people like your work, obviously, it is still like, you know, yeah, those I like every time I've seen someone make like jewelry or like a plushie or anything, they have like billions of attacks because they're so like, it's like cool and unique, like the freak. But yeah, just disclaimer because people don't really talk about it, but it's super cool to see. And low-key, I kind of want to make jewelry, but also I kind of suck, so. But yeah, so attacks are just when you make a piece of art for someone else. And then defenses are when people make art for you, or like someone else's attack to you, or someone else, whatever. My my incredible explaining skills kicking in right now. Yeah, a revenge is when like someone attacks someone and then they attack back. And you can also make it like a revenge chain where you just keep attacking each other. Those are pretty fun. I've done like maybe two though because I like always get in my head about attacking like everyone who attacks me. And being someone who's been on here for 4 years, I got a lot of attacks, not gonna lie. At least more than like I can keep up with sometimes. But I usually do because I am insane, so I will succeed. And then there are mass attacks, which are basically when an artist makes a big piece of artwork with multiple characters from multiple different artists. But I think a mass attack also could include like just multiple characters from the same artist. I think. I don't know. I can't remember. But yeah, those are basically like the terms that you're gonna hear thrown around a lot. People get confused because they hear like art fight and attacks and they think you need to like make your characters fight each other, which like you could, but you don't have to. You can just kind of draw a character like sitting around and then you're like, boom, like I've attacked you. It's a lot less hostile too. There's an entire segment in the like rules section about the spirit of art fight. And like they're constantly like, don't be mean to other people. Obviously, don't like take it too seriously. Because it really, the competition aspect, because there is a competition aspect. They're all like two different teams. Last year it was Stardust and Seafoam. And Stardust won. Let's go. Let's go, Stardust. The teams are just there for like fun, really. When you attack someone from the opposite team, you get more points, but you still can't attack your own team because it really is just a game to draw and like, talk to other artists and like do art trades essentially. Yeah, general rules are like super standard. I read through all the like rules and shit to like prepare for this because I was like, I want to dumb it down in case someone just like doesn't want to read the rules. Because low-key, I did not read the rules when I first did Art Fight, but that was okay because if you don't do crazy shit, you're fine. Like you you like obviously like do read the rules in case like because like you never know. But really they're super standard. There's obviously like you have to be 13 and up. Since it's 13 and up, you can't post like straight up like sex and butt and shit. Um well, butt is okay, but like you can't draw just straight up like porn and shit because you know there's kids there. But there are some like interesting rules. One said no D&I lists, and if you don't know what that is, congrats. But it's basically like do not interact. Like you can't put like don't interact if you like Dream SMP or some shit, you know? Like you can't put that. The only exception is if you're an adult being like, do not come to my page if you are a child, and like vice versa. Which is fair, obviously. Upload rules are interesting. All the artwork and characters you post must be your own or you have permission to post them. No art bases for attacks. So you can't like just rip something off. And you also can't like reuse a base for multiple attacks. All art needs to be unique for attacks. And also made within the month of July. So you can't make attacks before the event starts. Yeah, that's about it. Also, obviously no AI, but like if you are an actual artist, you would fucking know that. Um, so no problemos there. Yeah, that's basically all the like art fight stuff. It's literally just a website. There is no app. There is no Queen of England. Rest in peace. You can log in or sign in with your email and like use get a little username and then boom, like you're literally in. Yeah, the website is like old though. Like it uses the like HTML. So if you use Toy House and you know how to like do the stuff on there, it's basically the same on Artfight, which confuses a lot of people because, like, especially this year, bro, so many people were like, how the fuck do I use this website? Because they're all like little babies from TikTok who are like 13 and have never like been on old internet. And like, you know what? I haven't even been on old internet, but low-key, I was, but not really. But I'm so cool and unique. I'm nothing like these Gen Zers. I know how to use cell phone, old cell phone. Now on to like the controversies because everyone was freaking out about Art Fight throughout the month for kind of valid but also not really valid reasons, and I love to get into this shit. So let's get into this shit. So one of the big controversies was about mass attacks, and people were talking about how people would like draw on these big ass canvases or not that big of canvases and draw like a billion characters, but all the characters because they're on like one canvas would be like 3 pixels tall. They would look like those fucking, do you recognize these characters from just the colors of that they have? Like those fucking cubes. And people were obviously like, they should not be allowed to get like all these points for drawing like the back of my character's head in like the top corner, you know? Which is fair. And, there is something to be said about like also like point farming, because some people would be like, these are lazy as fuck, and they're just like mass producing these so that they could get a bunch of points. Which like fair enough. But also if they're not properly if they are getting points that they do not deserve based off of the criteria at which this artwork falls into, then the mods were gonna fix it at the end. Or you could also just report it. The mods are fucking, dude, there are so many people on Artfight, and those moderators work at light speed. Like, props to them, because I would see shit that was kind of crazy and be like, wow, like, this should be taken down. I don't think this is, allowed. And then, like, the next day, boom, gone. Like, holy shit. I don't think that the point farming is super possible because, again, by the end of the year, they all, like, go through every attack and, like, count up the points. There was also this thing going around where this one person on TikTok was like, I'm gonna draw everyone on Stardust. Why did I become Southern? Everyone on Stardust character in a human centipede. And everyone was like, don't do that! Ew, holy shit. And then everyone got scared that their character was gonna end up in a human centipede. Like they were fucking Kyle in that one episode of South Park. And like, that shit was not gonna happen, guys. Be so fucking for real. Like, maybe there was like one like kid that was like this would be really funny, but like no sane artist was gonna do that. And the likelihood of you ending up on a like crazy mass attack was so slim for another reason that I'm about to get into. And it's that like there were so many new people in Artfight this year, and a lot of them are like artists on TikTok who are so used to this like nice algorithm that like if you post any picture or video, it's gonna get at least like 100 views, right? And like a comment like that. Like you had to be astronomically boring to not get a single like or like comment on TikTok because there's just so many people and the algorithm is so curated. So when they move to this website that has no algorithm, has no like it's not an app. It doesn't have any of that shit. It's like AO3, you know? All these little babies were just like, why is no one seeing me? Like, why is no one finding me? And it's like, because you can't find anybody. Like, you need to be sent a direct link to people's profile to find them on Artfight for the most part, because it's really hard to like find people on the website. There's like for browse, most of it is just like give me a random user, give me a random character, give me like, or like a list of like members and attacks and characters, but those are all like recent stuff. God forbid you have a friend who's been here for like a couple years or two and you're brand new and you're trying to find them. Like you can't. They need to send you a link to their profile. And so it's really hard if you're a brand new artist who doesn't really have a lot of like other artist friends or like any sort of following on other social medias. If you're just regular schmegular guy who doesn't really post on social media a lot, you aren't gonna get a lot of people following you on Artfight because it's just not the algorithm to find people on. There are no tags. Well, there are tags, but like tag search is like busted as fuck, and also like not everyone uses them. You could put them. I put some on just like for fucking fun. Um, but like it's really not like Instagram or TikTok where like they're nicely sorted and they like do something for you. Again, it's more like Toy House in my opinion. But even Toy House has some sort of like algorithm of sorts. I'm not gonna be mean. I'm actually not gonna be mean. So many people were not putting in the amount of effort that they wanted other people to put in for them, if that makes sense. Because on art again on TikTok, there were so many people who were like, no one's attacking me, like no, I'm getting no attacks. And like that's fair, that's frustrating. Because it is marketed as an art trading game. But that's disingenuous, really, with the title of art trading game, because a trade implies that you're getting something back, but the game itself tells you very explicitly that you are not owed things back from any artist, because that's just the game. The point is to make it's for you to like find a character and be like, I'm gonna make something of that character because I like it. And then you do, and then you post it and you get a couple points for your team. And that's the fun part. That is the fun part, is making. There is another fun part as a little bonus treat, is that you also get to receive some art. But that's like, you're not owed that. You're not owed other people's efforts. You're not owed that from Artfight. Again, it's fair. If you're making all this stuff for Artfight and you're posting and like you're making all this art for other people and you're not getting anything in return, you can feel cheated out of like this experience and that's fair. There is a problem on Artfight where a lot of people will just kind of attack really big, no, like uh notable popular artists. You know, they get like hundreds of attacks and they obviously can't attack everyone back. And then a lot of like smaller artists don't really get attacks because so many people are focused on like these bigger artists. But you also can't blame them because there are so many people on that website who probably aren't following bigger artists, probably aren't attacking bigger artists, who could be attacking each other, you know, the smaller artists. So it's like complex in a way, and it's weird to put that on bigger artists who are just fucking, who are probably overwhelmed, you know? The point is, that's valid. Again, if you're not getting attacks back and you're like putting in the work for it, you know, you're fair to be like frustrated by that. But some people low-key weren't putting in the work at all. Like they would have like one attack up and be so pissed off that they don't have any attacks at all. And it's like, well, maybe just keep doing it. Maybe try marketing yourself a little more. But low-key also, like, maybe don't market yourself anymore because so many people were trying to do this guilt trip thing where it's like, I attacked 3 people and none of them revenged me back. I just fucking suck. And it's like, I don't know, man. Maybe you do. Like, there's one thing to be like frustrated and just share those frustrations, and it's another thing to try to guilt people into drawing art for you. Because again, you're not owed that. This is completely free. You will not get any money for participating or getting attacks or even winning art fight, bro. Like you don't get anything for it except for this like fun fucking experience of drawing for people and like maybe getting an art piece back. You know, the only thing you're really owed, and even this is like, you know, you're not like obligated to, is like a comment under your like attack from someone. They don't have to attack you back. I don't know. Don't bother people. Some people like bother others who like haven't commented on their attack to be like, why haven't you commented? Why haven't you thanked me for my labors? And it's like, yeah, they should have, but also like that's not a big deal. Like, I don't know. I've done like attacks where they just never comment, and you know, I just don't pay much mind. It would be nice, but I'm not like gonna obsess over it and freak the fuck out. Because it's really not that important, you know. The fun part, the like validating part was me just doing it to begin with. I would say if you do not fucking like making art, don't do art fight. If the idea of just drawing random people's characters isn't fun to you unless you're receiving something back, then maybe don't do art fight. Because while, yes, there are so many people and you might get an attack back for drawing for other people, you should not be going in with that being the thing that you're most excited about. When I started art fight, I was like, really? I was crazy. I was so art pilled. I would draw like every day and post like every day. So the idea of just being able to draw more was really exciting for me. And also like finding other people and having this entire website dedicated to artists was really fun. And getting attacks was just a fun bonus because like holy shit, you're drawing my character? Like, oh my gosh, like should we kiss now or later? But yeah, and I think that's kind of the biggest issue I feel like on Artfight, and also just on TikTok, but specifically like TikTok artists who came to Artfight, is that I feel like a lot of artists on TikTok do art for the sole purpose of getting like something in return. Like they're making art and then they post it and then they're like, okay, now here's the fun part where everyone tells me how great it is. It's obviously not everyone, but I feel like that's kind of the culture it's cultivated. The culture it's cultivated. Yeah, hell yeah. Where they just want something out of drawing that isn't just the fun of creation. And that's so like gay artist, like these people, they're in it for the money. But like low-key, that it's worse. Like if you're in it for the money, then like get your fucking bag, bitch. But you're not even really getting anything feasible. You're getting likes on the internet. Bro, one satellite can explode and then it's all over. Like we should not be prioritizing that of all things, you know? These satellites create the internet? Bro, I don't even fucking know, man. If you like to create, if that is the funnest part is to make something, then you will have so much fun on Artfight. But if you really want to do it to get art, you are not gonna have fun because you are going to be frustrated. I thought I had something else to say, but I kind of don't. I don't know. This whole thing is for me to get my ramblings out, but also because I really like Artfight, and I feel like people they just don't get it. Like it is really fun, and the community is actually very cool and awesome. I don't know. I hope someone out there gets inspired and joins Artfight. Probably not though. You can you can go follow me on Artfight. You know, I draw a lot. My battle ratio is pretty good. My characters are super cool and awesome, and they're awesome, and you should go read their bios and think they're awesome as well because they are. And I don't know, go read my comic. It's pretty cool. It's on Webtoon. Made it with my boyfriend. We we made it. I keep calling it my comic, but it's ours.
Guys, I have to poop, but my cousin's in the shower. Leave a black heart if you want me to kill him. Leave a purple heart if you think I should knock. Leave a pink heart if you want me to tell him I have to poop through the door. Leave a red heart if you want me.